You know, some people just want to watch the world burn. Like me! Right now, I really want to watch that happen. 'Cause there's certain movies in this world that shouldn't exist. Like, for example, all the recent Adam Sandler movies. Seriously, why are they allowing him to make another one? Or another example would be the recent Transformers movies. How the hell they're making more of those? I mean, look at the third one. The title isn't even grammatically correct. Dark of the Moon? What is dark? The of? And then there's the movies that just seem to fly under the radar, and nobody seems to, like, focus on them, like, at all. This is one of those. Ladies and gentlemen, it's The Dog Who Saved Halloween. That's it. I'm convinced. Someone out there hates me. Someone saw the last two reviews and said, nah, we're not doing anything wrong. Let's make another one. No one's gonna complain. It's not like he'll review the third one. This movie is wrong. It's wrong. It shouldn't exist. How it exists, I don't know. Nothing about it makes sense to me. It looks more expensive than the last two movies. They actually have people that I know acting in the movie. Why? This movie just doesn't need to exist. Actually, no, it shouldn't exist. A second movie, I can understand that you wanted to try that, but a third one? Are you fucking serious? They actually went out of their way to make an absolutely shitty movie that absolutely nobody asked for. Now I'm gonna throw an image at you that's gonna really make your head hurt. Ready for this? Here we go. Can you, like, not destroy the film industry? It's because of scum like this that people paint everything in a bad light. Hey, you know what? If Starz Media wants to sue me over this review, I say bring them on, because I'm gonna review it. So, seeing as how you guys want to suffer through it like the sick individuals that you all are, let's suffer through The Dog Who Saved Halloween. So our film opens up today with the hybrid logo. Oh, goody. They made this one too. But anyway, as our credits roll, we see that, oh yeah, by the way, I should probably issue an epilepsy warning, because they go extremely overboard with this strobe light that they're shining on the house to make it look like lightning. Seriously. Seriously, they just keep doing it. They don't stop. Lightning does not strike at this high of a frequency anywhere. This is the first minute of the first scene. I am on this ride for another hour and a half. Anyway, it's the fucking Bannister family again, and George wakes up because asshole's got green window, which means he's automatically suspicious because reasons! So, he takes the dog out to investigate his neighbor because he has a creepy house. And need I remind you, it's like 2 in the morning when he does this. It's really fucking annoying. You know what else is really fucking annoying?
Ooh, I know. Let's go back inside, because the Real House Puppies of Beverly Hills is about to start.
They changed the fucking voice actor of Zeus. I'm sorry, how many times are you gonna actually switch actors in these movies? Are you seriously expecting kids not to tell the difference? I mean, I get that Audacity is a free program and everything, but I hate you.
You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you.
So George goes up to the neighbor's house and plans to look through the front door, I guess. You know what? It's never explained what he plans to do while he's here. What was your plan, George? You just walked up to the house and then was like, oh, I didn't plan this far ahead. Anyway, then they're attacked by what looks like the birds from Birdemic, and then George starts being an absolute idiot. Just like he normally is in these stupid fucking movies. And this proceeds to apparently wake up all of the neighbors on the street. Somehow. Oh yeah, and then this dog comes out and he just stands there for some reason. Also, it can talk, much to my dismay.
You tell that idiot to stay out of our yard.
Where have I heard that voice, and why am I asking myself this question? This is not a movie where I should be asking myself that question. Oh, fuck. This dog is voiced by BIALIK. You may remember her from her prestigious role as Amy Farrah Fowler on The Big Bang Theory, which begs the question, why is she here? Why am I here? And this is actually just the first case of why is so-and-so here. There's a bunch of them in this movie. By the way, I love how the director just wanted George to sit on the ground like he's an idiot. Because he is an idiot. That's just weird because throughout this entire scene he just lays there like he's an idiot. Oh yeah, then he just looks over and everyone's just like standing there for some reason. This woman has a cat, which begs the question, was it absolutely necessary for you to bring the cats? And then George passes out. And that was just our opening scene, ladies and gentlemen. Be very afraid. Now, the opening sequence seems to consist of a lot of brandless Halloween decorations. Well, what can I say? They blew the budget on the actors in this movie. They can't exactly get copyright permission from anyone. That takes actual effort. Oh, and before you guys go nuts, reviewing is different. Also, another thing that I just love to touch base on is that all of the music in this movie is courtesy of Creative Musical Services. That means there isn't copyright on it. That implies that you were too lazy to get copyright permission for anything, so you just went with stuff that's copyright free. Stupid son of a bitches. Hey, NCS, play me off! Anyway, that's a different house. This is the third time in these movies that we've switched sets. Also, because George fell down last night, he broke his leg.
George.
Because that makes perfect sense. Also, just like in the last movie, throughout this whole film, George is a fucking idiot.
Belinda, has it ever occurred to you that maybe I'm trying to protect this family? You know, it's not like we moved out of state. We moved 3 blocks.
What the fuck does where you moved have to do with anything? I don't care where you moved, and quite frankly, I don't think the audience cares where you moved. So why'd you even bring it up? God, you just brought that right the fuck out of nowhere for no adequately explained reason. God, you're a stupid, stupid man. And I'm gonna be saying that a lot through this review, because this guy, oh, he's just stupid throughout this entire movie. Anyway, then the kids show up, and actually they're the same actors from the last movie, so I can't complain too much. But then the car hits George's leg, and he is in pain from it somehow. Is your leg made out of fucking styrofoam? Because I think it's made out of fucking styrofoam if you're in this much fucking pain. It's not like you jumped off a goddamn 30-story building. You fell down. Also, they got a thing against him using the damn car in the house and outside of the house, which begs the question, why'd you buy it for him in the first place? Okay, you know what? This scene goes on for a while, and it goes nowhere and establishes nothing else, so let's just move on. So the movie cuts over to City Hall for some No! 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 And furthermore, why? No! No!
Alright, let's see. We've got Ted Stein and Stewie McMahon.
Why did I not predict that Tweedledee and Tweedle dumbass was gonna be here? Oh, wait, I know, because even Home Alone wasn't stupid enough to bring back the same robbers for a third movie! I mean, are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? You're telling me that after robbing the house in the first movie, and then, a year later, less than a month after they were released from jail, they went and did this again, and then you let them out only a year later? Isn't there a harsher sentence for repeated offenders? Oh my god, where is my salvation in this horrible movie?
I don't like you.
Huh?
I didn't like you before I came in this room. I don't even like you before you were born. I'm not even sure I like your mother.
Holy fuck, dude! That's it. This is the only redeeming character in this entire movie. She's the only one. She's the only one that I like, and that's only because she hates everyone. If she was part of my race, I would think that I had found a soulmate. So anyway, you guys are probably wondering, why the fuck are these two out of jail? Well, it turns out that this is part of their rehabilitation. Yeah, because obviously they need that. And their rehabilitation involves picking up dog shit at the dog park. There are reasons why America is going to So George and Zeus are back at home, and George taught Zeus how to get chips out of the drawer. Which leads me to believe that the last one died, and you got one that was better trained, because you had the last one fishing for cookies out of a windowsill. I can't make that up. That's actually what they did. Anyway, Zeus goes to get a soda, and... are you fucking serious? That is like the stupidest filming strategy ever. You guys are probably looking at this like, what the hell happened? He went to get a can of soda out of the refrigerator. Who cares? Well, it's not what he was doing, it was what was in the refrigerator. Everything in there was turned around so they didn't have to show any brand labels. Anyway, this scene goes nowhere. Let's move on. George, being the most immature person in the universe, takes the RC car out for a spin. Everyone on the street looks at this like it's the most fascinating thing in the fucking universe. I can't make that shit up. I legitimately can't make that shit up. They have nothing better to do in their lives than look at this RC car. I'm sorry, what's fascinating about this? It's a fucking RC car. I have 10 of them. Some of you may think of this as nitpicking, but just why are they just so fascinated by this thing? It's so confusing. Anyway, then this guy shows up. I'm not gonna bother giving out his name, so we're just gonna call him Wyman. Because I have to ask why every time this character comes on screen. Listen to him. Tell me if he sounds familiar.
Night. Waking up the whole neighborhood, maybe the whole town. Way to impress your new neighbors, duh.
Don't you work for a living?
Haven't figured it out yet? Here, I'll give you a little bit more.
Oh, come on, G-Man. You know I make websites at home. What a nerd. Which reminds me, if the missus needs to hit me up for a website...
You are scum! You're worthless, spineless, rotten to the core! That's it!
So, yeah, why is Curtis Armstrong from Dan Versus here? I feel like I should be upset about this, but I'm more confused. Why is he here? This movie came out in 2011. You had a ton of stuff going at the time. You fucking idiot!
You fucking idiot!
You're a fucking idiot.
You fucking idiot.
Personally, I think you're a fucking idiot.
You're a fucking idiot!
Greg, say that he's a fucking idiot. Everyone's doing it. You're a fucking idiot. I get that you have to put food on the table, but good God, you're a respectable actor. If people keep throwing themselves at these movies, they're gonna keep making them. People ask me why I hate everything about the film industry. This is kind of why. So then there's this black car that comes down the street, and they're just as fascinated, if not more fascinated by this than the RC car. Something tells me that these people don't have much in the way of a life. But no, the reason everyone's looking at it is because it's the creepy old guy in his black car. Oh yes, this is fascinating. God forbid you do anything else. Actually, he pulls something out of the trunk that I guess they want to look like a dead body, but unless said dead body's legs are made of paper, then I'm not falling for it. Seriously, who are you trying to fool with this? Anyway, we cut back to Tweedledee and Tweedledumbass who are doing, I don't know, something. I think the main question with this scene is, are we going to establish any plot relevance at all? No, actually, we're not. These two are just still picking up garbage at the dog park. Actually, it makes me hate humanity even more because they're talking about going back into the crime business after all of this is over. Which begs the question, can we give these two the electric chair yet? No? We can't? Why not? Anyway, we cut back to the Bannister house where they're carving pumpkins. 'Cause it's Halloween. Anyway, George decides that it's a perfect time to tell a fucking ghost story for some reason.
I think it's time that Ben and Karen knew about the story of the Hookmen of Halloween.
The what?
Yeah, the what?
The Hookmen of Halloween.
Bomb strike this asshole right there! Do it again! Oh! Why couldn't he be in this movie?
It was a cold and quiet night.
George.
Much like the one tonight. Your mother and I were going out on a date.
Don't listen to him.
We ran out of gas and broke down just outside of town.
Huh, sounds like a wonderful date.
But it was right next to the railroad tracks. Choo, choo.
Oh, bitch, get out of the way. Get out of the way, bitch, get out of the way.
And that's it, that's the whole story. Moving on now. What, would you rather hear his or mine? Because I guarantee mine is gonna be 10 times more entertaining. Also, I just love that What's-Her-Face is terrified in this scene. I don't think she's scared of the story. Story's not scary at all. I think she's legitimately scared of George right now because he's being the creepiest son of a bitch on the planet. Also, not to mention that he's a moron.
You're a moron.
Anyway, after that, George goes back outside because he's so goddamn curious as to what exactly his neighbor is up to. Because, oh no, he's bringing things into the house! Ah! George insists to Belinda that something's up, but Belinda doesn't believe it, which begs the question, how did these two ever get married? I've been wanting to bring this up since the first movie review, so how the fuck did these two get together? We've never seen any, like, romance. They don't have any chemistry. All they do is argue. And George is a moron. I mean, he comes in to be his moronic self and say that the neighbor is clearly up to something, and she's all like,
it sounds like they were just getting a delivery of some kind. Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep.
You have a fucking clapper? But no, Blinda's not allowed to go to sleep. George wants to have an argument. Now, you know, why do I feel like George seems like someone who would argue with a 5-year-old over a piece of candy? Oh, by the way, them hiding behind the door, don't worry, that is never fucking resolved or explained, or it never comes back in the plot of the movie, so it's completely pointless. Anyway, it cuts to the next day where George is reading the newspaper.
2 high-voltage electron generators were stolen from the Seaman Neck power plant late last night.
Oh, sure, movie. You mean the ones that weigh 5,000 tons apiece? But George, being the absolute moron that he is, thinks that this is somehow relevant to the stuff that they were carrying into the creepy house last night.
You just eat your breakfast and don't listen to your father because sometimes he says crazy things.
You know what? That's it. That's the best line. Moments later, their neighbor shows up because her cat's gone missing. Oh, and oh, isn't that a lovely Photoshop? Okay, plot point established. We're moving on now. Because if we don't move on, we're gonna spend about 30 fucking minutes in this one scene. So Belinda is like, George needs to knock it the fuck off of bothering the goddamn neighbor. Which, of course, he agrees to do. And then literally in the next scene, he has what they're trying to make look like military-grade high-tech binoculars, but clearly, that's just a bird-watching scope. A really expensive one. Okay, at this point, I have to ask, how far out of his way is he gonna go to spy on the fucking neighbor? 'Cause this thing does not look cheap. I mean, look at it. It has infrared. I was unaware that people could just buy military-grade hardware down the street. Why the fuck does he have this thing? Anyway, he spots creepy old guy in front of a whiteboard that's full of math. Well, that's like my least favorite thing in the world, but the only thing that's plot relevant on this board is that he has a day countdown thing to 0 hour. Who made this movie? Who thought this up and why? Anyway, we cut back to Tweedledee and Tweedledumbass for some reason.
Ted, how come we can't go trick-or-treat?
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's stop the fucking movie because Tweedledumbass can't go trick-or-treating.
You really want to risk our freedom for a little bit of candy?
It depends what type of candy they got.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
So yeah, anyone ever notice that these two are sorta being fucking useless in this movie? Well, they're not the only ones. If you'll notice, Zeus is being pretty fucking useless too. Pretty fucking useless for being the dog who saved Halloween. It's not fucking funny! So George gets a store-bought pie, which he then proceeds to put in the oven. Wait, you bought it at the store. Why do you have to put it in the oven? Are you that much of an idiot? Are you that much of an idiot? Are you that much of an idiot? Can I have one character in this movie who isn't a fucking idiot? Can I just have that? Can I have one break? Can I? Please? So anyway, George and the two kids, I've come to calling them that now, head over to the neighbor's house, and everyone else is fascinated by this. Get a fucking life, you stupid people! So anyway, they ring the doorbell, and the door just opens. And they decide to go in. Anyway, the guy doesn't clean his fish tank. George sticks his finger in. The fish bites him. It's funny. Ha ha ha.
All is lost.
Anyway, they go through this house for a good 3 minutes, and then finally they run into Lance Henriksen? Come on! You were in Aliens! You were in Terminator! You were goddamn Stephen Admiral fucking Hackett! Have some goddamn respect for your fucking career! I can't believe this. I cannot fucking believe this. So George and Lance Henriksen sit down to have a conversation. They don't really succeed in getting a lot done, though. They just sort of have a conversation. That's it. Doesn't change George's opinion on the guy, doesn't clear up anything, it's just they have a conversation. I thought you came in here to get to the bottom of things! You can't just do that and so we can move on with our lives and get to the end of the movie? No, we're not. We're just gonna leave. We're just gonna leave, not figure anything out. We're just gonna. Okay. Oh yeah. By the way, other dog's name is Medusa. Brilliant name. So anyway, George calls in the entire neighborhood because he still thinks something is up. And Lord knows the rest of the people in this neighborhood don't have lives, so they obviously don't have anything better to be doing.
My friend Zeus and I have heard some mysterious noises coming from this house.
Yes, George, thank you for putting a golf club at your barely functional map. What the fuck is this whole scene? He doesn't succeed in doing anything to persuade them. He doesn't change their opinion. It's just, he succeeds in freaking them out some more.
This you probably recognize as a high voltage electron generator.
That's a picture of the prop that you made, put in front of a green screen, and then photoshopped so that it's on a white background.
Sorry. The cat, Rufus, missing ever since the same generator had been...
Alright, I'll save you. He doesn't succeed in persuading anyone, and everyone ends up leaving. Seriously, even Curtis Armstrong ends up leaving, and he's the guy who would most likely believe the idiot. Anyway, George decides that he's gonna go to the fucking park to clear his head. Wait! Fuck! No!
I can't control myself. Stop it. Do you want to go back to jail? Just give me the stick.
Oh, you are just the worst type of person.
George shows up and sees them doing their bullshit and recognizes them as the two guys who robbed their house 2 years ago. And George gets this terrible idea. Are you sitting down? I mean, it'd be weird if you were standing up. George literally goes over to them and asks them to break into the creepy guy's house so he can figure out what's going on. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with this plan except the fact that you were clearly committing a crime and this is going to make you an accomplice for breaking and entering! He is literally paying these guys to break into this guy's house. Literally paying these guys to break into this guy's house. I can't make that shit up. I can't make this up. This is too stupid. You're literally paying someone to commit a crime. That makes you just as guilty as them. It is written all up and down law that you are not supposed to do shit like this. I thought George was supposed to be the law-abiding citizen in this movie. I am so goddamn sad that this has to be what happens in the movie. Why? I think the majority of the audience has already figured out what the creepy guy is up to. He's putting together a fucking haunted house. But I don't suppose George stopped to consider that, did he? Oh no! He's obviously gotta be up to something! You know what the worst part about this is? They agreed to do it. They fucking agree to fucking do it. Also, there's some scene in a yoga class. It's pointless and I hate it. Moving on.
Look at that house, Stewie.
Forget the house, Ted. Look at the decorations. I bet they have good candy there for Halloween. Popcorn balls and peanut brittle and candied apples and chocolate momos. When I go trick-or-treating, that's exactly where I'm going.
We're not going trick-or-treating, Stewie.
Nah, but I'll tell you where they should be going. Their separate ways. Lance Henriksen goes out to his cart and pulls out this extremely fake-looking treasure chest.
Oh, hallelujah.
Yeah, excuse me. Morons! Those are chocolate coins.
A load like that, Stewie, we could retire.
Ted. You said you weren't gonna take nothing, Ted.
They're so obviously chocolate coins! You know what you could do? You could walk over there, pick them up, and confirm this! But guess what? They don't do that! They don't! They don't go over, pick one up, and confirm, oh wait, this is a chocolate coin. They don't do that. You wanna know why? Because this movie was written by 5-year-olds! We then cut to later that night, where the Bannisters are throwing a Halloween party. You know, 'cause they apparently haven't scared their neighbors off yet. I'm amazed. George, however, is too busy committing crimes to give a shit. There are certain moments that I hate my job. This is one of them. Tweedledee and Tweedledumbass proceed to break into the house. Step 1 of their brilliant plan is to disable the alarm. Alright, I'll forgive the shoddy effects if you just kill him!
Ted!
You okay?
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Alright, this next song goes out to the guy who keeps yelling from the balcony. It's called We Hate You, Please Die.
Oh, we hate you, we hate you, we hate you, die!
Anyway, what's-his-face not Ginger Kid comes into the room and says that George has to come down and socialize. You're probably wondering why he's not wearing a costume. Well, that's because he's going as the scariest thing of all, a bratty American teenager. That reminds me of the year that I went trick-or-treating, as the hunter who shot Bambi's mother. So he leaves Zeus in charge of keeping an eye on the 2 burglars that he's hired to rob a house.
Okay, wait for me, Georgie.
Can we acknowledge that he just told the dog to keep an eye on these 2? He told the fucking dog to do the... Did he... was this guy committed at one point and then escape and then somehow start a family? Anyway, Tweedledee and Tweedledumbass managed to get inside the house. Amazing. Was the door unlocked like it was in the first movie? Oh my god, it really wouldn't surprise me. So they're going through this house and it takes them forever. And also, Tweedledumbass is getting freaked out. Also, this whole bunch of scenes is probably where the budget went with the special effects. Because they pulled a lot of them here. I don't understand how they had a bigger budget to work with than the last movie. It makes no sense! Meanwhile, George decides that he's socialized for 5 minutes. Time to go back to crime. What are you, a tiny child? You act like a tiny child.
Such a thing as ghost.
Alright, I'm starting to see the problem with this movie. All the adults are acting like kids. People signed on for this movie after the last 2 movies. What did I just see? Did he just farted and fire came out? Quick question. Just right the fuck off the bat. Why the fuck was there fire? This is never talked about again. This is never fucking talked about again. I'm not kidding. This just happens, and we don't get an explanation as to why.
I'm fed up with this world.
Oh yeah, by the way, Zeus is afraid of thunder, and that's gonna be relevant for some stupid reason. Don't worry, it's not that plot important. Anyway, Tweedledee and Tweedledumbass find a secret bookcase that leads to a secret room in the house because, yeah, the contractors put that there. And this secret room contains the treasure chest full of fake chocolate coins. And they finally quickly realize that they're all chocolate coins. You could have figured that out earlier today if you just picked up the damn thing. But no, everyone in this movie has to be a dumbass. Because that's how they wrote it in the script. They specifically wrote at the top of the script, everyone has to be a dumbass. That's it. That's how they made the movie. So anyway, Stewie runs down and the bookcase somehow ends up automatically closing on its own. This seems like a very poor design flaw in your house. What if you lock yourself in there? What then happens is probably the most unentertaining scene in the entire movie, where Tweedledumbass proceeds to run around the house being a goddamn Home Alone robber idiot bullshit. Seriously, this goes on for at least 2 minutes, and all of this stuff is clearly plugged in. Although I have to complain about the knight that swings the sword, because that just seems a little bit dangerous. Seriously, this it's still going, by the way! And then he runs all the way back to where he started in the first place, and then they both proceed to get locked in. Okay, yeah, quick question, right off the bat. Why didn't you just lock them both in there to begin with and save us from the torture that was that scene? Anyway, Lance Henriksen ends up coming home, and oh no, George didn't think that far ahead. So he goes and asks his 2 children to create a distraction while he goes and does something. But don't worry, it turns out that an RC car is the ultimate distraction in every situation forever. Now why this guy doesn't just step on the damn thing, I don't know. It's on his property, it's clearly in his way, and he just stands there while the rest of these scenes play out. Okay. Whoever made this, I will find you. George decides that he's gonna break into the house along with the 2 robber dumbasses, which now makes him an accomplice. Oh, joy. And there's this really stupid scene where Zeus starts driving the RC car because the movie hates you. Okay? This movie hates you. It hates me, it hates you, it hates its actors, it hates everybody. Anyway, Belinda shows up and asks what the fuck is everyone doing?
Dad asked us to distract Mr. Cole?
What? Why would he do that?
Because your husband is a moron. So yeah, now George is in the house. Oh, but Belinda follows him. Okay, let's drag the entire family off to jail. I'm not complaining. I want them gone. But it turns out George's idiocy is rubbing off on Belinda because neither of them can seem to realize that all of this stuff is plugged in somewhere. Oh, no! Belinda, what did I say? Don't stand too close to George. You'll catch his stupid.
George, what is going on?
Huh? Nothing. There's a hidden door, Belinda.
Who are you talking to?
My wife.
Who are you talking to?
Ted and Stewie.
The two guys who broke into our house?
Yeah, I hired them to break into this house.
Yeah, that! Yeah, that! You see that? You see the issues that are unfolding here?
George, have you completely lost your mind?
Gonna go out on a limb here and say, yes! Yes, he has! Anyway, they go in and stupid them end up getting themselves stuck. Seriously, who the fuck designed this? This one guy who lives in this house, what's he gonna do if he gets stuck? Oh yeah, you remember way back when we found out that the cat was missing? Yeah, they found the cat, by the way. Anyway, Zeus finally goes in and makes his contribution to the plot. Yeah, cause, you know, it's the dog who saved Halloween. So, it's natural that he's the only one who figures out that all of this shit is plugged in. You know, Greg took away my noose. Let that sink in. Anyway, he figures out the fucking bookcase, unlike the rest of the stupid people in this movie. And somehow he's able to figure out that there are cameras all over the goddamn house.
Huh? That's the house. Look at that. Every room.
Yeah, every room. All fucking 4 of them! This isn't the dog who saved Halloween. This is a dog who went in and told everyone else that they're all being complete and utter dumbasses.
Haunted house plans? How do you explain the generators?
None of this was real.
I don't understand that.
Oh, thank God the cops have come to arrest the entire cast. So all 4 of them are pulled out by the cops. Oh, thank God. But you ready? You ready for the worst part of this friggin' movie? Are you ready for the worst part of this movie? We got them red-handed, hook, line, and sinker. They are going to jail. And then, guess what happens?
Mr. Cole, would you like to press charges?
Officer, I think this is a big misunderstanding.
Yeah, a big misunderstanding.
Yeah, yes.
Now, look, I feel partially responsible for this, my work and my preoccupation. I realize I could have done a better job at introducing myself to you rather than, you know, bugging you.
He doesn't press charges. He doesn't press charges. We had it all lined up. They could have gone to jail. They wouldn't have made another movie. This would have been a satisfying ending to this film. And he doesn't press charges. What the fuck is wrong with you? What is actually wrong with you? You know what would happen if someone broke into my house? I would sue their ass and their balls. You had the opportunity to destroy one of my most hated movie franchises, and you didn't do it. You are on my shit list at the top. Oh yeah, and just to make everything worse, all the neighbors still hate them. Yeah, that's never resolved. All the neighbors hate them, the guy hates them, everyone hates them now. Brilliant ending to your movie. Also, wasn't this called The Dog Who Saved Halloween? I'm sorry, where was the saving exactly? I'm not seeing the part where he saved Halloween.
Because you saved Halloween. You did it.
All in a day's work.
Yeah, okay. Because the movie said that he did. Because the movie said that the dog saved Halloween. Apparently, he saved Halloween. Sorry, he was only plot relevant for like 10 minutes of this movie. That's it. I hate this movie. I hate all the actors in it. I hate everything about it. I also hate the scene after that scene where all of these kids are trick-or-treating in broad daylight. All of it, every single thing about this movie sucks.
Well, if this isn't the cutest bunch of ghosts and goblins you've ever seen. Hey, who wants to go trick-or-treating?
Why are you here? There's no reason for you to be here. There's no plot contribution that you make to any of the films. It's just like, you're just fucking there. So anyway, they go to this stupid party, they take pictures, and then they all go trick-or-treating as this, like, enormous group, because apparently, like, 10 billion kids all gather at this one house to all go trick-or-treating. And then finally, the fucking movie ends. So, that's the dog who saved Halloween. Holy fucking Celestia. This movie is just bad to the 10 billionth degree. I thought it couldn't get worse than The Dog Who Saved Christmas Vacation, but no. It got worse. It got way fucking worse. The effects are cheap, the story's predictable, the entire plot sucks. The acting is terrible, and the good actors they got into it overact and make everyone else look like shit. The fact that they have to keep bringing back the two robbers is just stupid. George is a fucking idiot to the degree that it's just uncomfortable as to how much of an idiot he is. And not to mention, Zeus is fucking useless until the very end of the film. My recommendation is that you avoid this like the plague. Stop giving them money. Whoever is buying these movies, stop. If you keep buying them, they are just gonna keep making more. And I hate them for it. Nightmare Night? What a fright. That's a film I do not like. One of the worst that I've seen all year. And I've seen some really shitty movies this year. My name is Hunter, and this has been a Hunter Review. Now, if you'll excuse me, I can think of about 10 trillion things that I could be doing other than watching really shitty movies. Like taking the DVD into the backyard and blowing it up with a shotgun. Fun.
There once was a guy who created a machine, a thing that would take people to and from some other world. And when he arrived, he had run into a pony who smiled and decided that they both should go see a film. When that movie sucked, they decided to join forces, and then they created a new show called Hunter Reviews.
The electron generators that were stolen that night, how do you explain it?
Come on. They found those generators last night.
Yeah, a couple of lowlives were out looking for copper wire or something. That's all it was.
Oh yeah, that's why they broke into a fucking power plant. You know, instead of going to the hardware store to do that. Copper wire drives you to do crazy things. Hey, Greg, can someone get me some water?
You just eat your breakfast and don't listen to your father because sometimes he says crazy things.